of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L O G.
What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. I am your host, Carol Riddick, and I am joined by the one and only Miss Kayla J. Hi, Miss Kayla J. Hey there, family. Happy Tuesday to you. Happy Tuesday to you, and thank you for joining us. Now, for those of you with whom I did not communicate yesterday, I want to know all about your weekend. I want to know everything, okay? I want to know what you did. I want to know if it was a good weekend and if you did anything special, all of that good stuff. Y'all know I want to know. Come on now. Y'all know I want to know everything. I am sending all of my love to each and every one of you, though. Even if you don't tell me, you already know that too. So, before we get into everything, you know what I like to do. And for those of you who are unaware, what I do like to do is check in or roll call, if you will. So for our family members who are joining us on our socials, send us a hello, if you will. Just send us a little hey. That's all. That's all. That's all. Or you can even call me. And you can do that by dialing 215-634-8065. Or you can call me toll free at 1-866 3610900. Just say hi. Hey, Carol, let me know, how life is and how things are going with and for you and yours, all that good stuff. And to those of you who are simply listening, just know that we know that you're out there. We can feel you. Your presence and your love are always felt and are always appreciated. Lastly, but certainly not least, for those of our family members whose light is shining just a little dimly today, you already know what I'm about to tell you. I am sending you all the extra love and hugs that you can handle. I'm sending it to each and every one of you. You know that. You know that. And if today is your birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I tell y'all, I believe we should all be celebrated and spoiled absolutely rotten. Okay. I wish I was. I'm working on it. As a matter of fact, I read today that today is the birthday of Lieutenant Colonel James Harvey III, Tuskegee Airman in Colorado, who turned 100. OMG. No, actually, I think he celebrated his birthday over the weekend. But still, okay, that's not the wow. The wow is that he turned 100. God bless him. So Lieutenant Colonel James Harvey III, Tuskegee Airman in Colorado, turns 100. Isn't that amazing? Amazing. To our family members who are checking in, hey Ellis, hi there. Thank you so much for joining the conversation and sending a hello, sharing some love. To Nasir, hi there. Good evening to you as well. And hi Diane, Miss Diane Fassett. Hello. She shares. Good evening, Carol, and word listeners and guests. Come on, family. Come on. You know I like to know what's going on with you, how things are going. Hi, Janaea. She's checking in. Miss Joanne Kemp is checking in as well. Janaea Cherie checked in. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. Let me know. How was your weekend? How was everything? Did anybody do anything special? Janaea, I'm still coming for that dress that I saw you wear. Janaea had this dress on, y'all. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. But in any event, I thought it was amazing and I want it. But you, talk to me. Tell me what's going on with you because you know I want to know. So today is Tuesday. As I did state earlier, I said happy Tuesday. So you know what that means. That means it's time for our tune up. Tuesday is Tuesday Tune Up, and we do that with none other than our resident fitness coach extraordinaire, Dillon Swaine. For those who are unaware, he is a widely talented fitness coach, athlete, and entrepreneur. Lord, heaven help me. Heaven help me. I'm making up words again, y'all. Y'all know I do it all the time, but entrepreneur amongst many other things. He's also the CEO and founder of his own fitness company, Swain Train. He's here to talk with us tonight about multivitamins, okay? And he'll also talk about vitality, appearance, vibe, all that good stuff, all that good stuff. So, family, without further ado, let's get into this conversation with Dillon Swaine. Hey there, Dillon.
Hey family, happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. How are you today?
Oh, just got done with a client of mine. He actually came back after 3 years, came back after college, and he is ready to get the body going.
All right. All right. All right. After 3 years.
Yeah, it tells you I'm doing something right, I guess. I don't know.
Listen. Well, no, you know what I was thinking because I told you I've been trying to get back on my horse. I like the outdoors, and it's messing me up because I feel like every time, like my alarm is set, but I wake up about 2 hours before my alarm is set. Quite honestly, but they keep talking about this air quality, that we have bad air quality. There's a bad air quality. And I like the outdoors. I like to walk. I was telling you that. So they keep
Mm.
messing with I'm trying to get back into my flow.
Yeah, the sky was orange like a week ago. Crazy.
Listen, we touched on that. I started that conversation a few times, but quite honestly, I'm fearful of having that conversation because I don't know what's going on. I promise you, I think they're trying to kill us all, but
Oh God.
I do.
Hmm.
But in any event, I've been trying to be mindful and stay safe and not go out walking because of that, for that reason. But I'm going to get back on my horse. I'm just not good at doing stuff at home, and
Hey,
I need
remember
to
we
get
talked
better
about
at that.
Zazen? Are you hitting that Zazen?
I now oh no, I'm working. Oh my goodness, I did practice. I'm getting better at at finding my comfort, my space, but working out, that's what I need help with. The whole I don't know, maybe I need to do some yoga. I don't know, Dylan. But see, that's why we have you here. That's why we
Okay,
have you
that's right.
here. Yeah. Yeah. So okay, before we get into anything, I do want to address a comment that Ms. Diane shared with us. Okay, I asked everybody what they did over the weekend and how their weekend was, and she shares that her weekend was good, very quiet. She writes that she likes quiet. So do I. So do I, Miss Diane. But she said yesterday she learned how to make paint using plants and the skins of vegetables.
Oh
I
yeah.
Why I love that. Where is that class? I want to do that.
That
I know, right? I love
sounds
stuff
like
like that.
very calming, I'll be honest.
It doesn't it? It does. It sounds technical, strategic, calming. It all of that
Oh,
good stuff. Doesn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. I love that. But okay,
Cool.
listen, Dylan, you got to keep me because I go
Engaged,
all over the
right?
place. You listen, the family knows I go all over the place. So, Dylan, what will you share with us tonight about multivitamins? I'm going to ask you to start the conversation because I do have some questions.
Of course. Honestly, multivitamins are the holy grail to your vitality. And what I mean by vitality is your restfulness, the way your skin looks, how hard and tough your nails and your hair is, and then your skin also. Vitality, if you get a cut, how long does it take your cut to heal up and stop bleeding? You know, when you ever get that blood drawn from the doctor on your daily checkup, or well, monthly, what's it, biannually checkup,
Mm-hmm.
you'll get your blood drawn, and then it's like, huh, the band-aid's on it, but it's still not closing up after, I'm home now. It's been hours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All these things define your vitality, your energy levels, especially. And your vitamins is crucial to maintaining your hormones. So if your vitamin count is like on the low end, it's deficient on, let's say, vitamin D or vitamin
Mm-hmm.
A. You may have heard it in your past, like carrots have vitamin A. So
Right.
eat a lot of carrots and you'll see better. Yeah, well, there's truth to that, not to the extreme measure, but there is truth to that. Vitamins are the precursors to your vitality. As I say, fat is a precursor to your hormones.
You
So
said
that's
fat.
how important. Yeah. Huh?
What was that? Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I missed it.
FAT.
I thought you said fat. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Like omega 3s.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I
That,
won't get into the fat on this. I mean, I could, just real quick. Fat is a precursor to all your hormones. So you'd ought to put in omega 3s rather than omega 6s, especially if you live on the western side of the world, because most of the food palette and the dietary recommendations all include omega 6s, and the ingredients that they put in foods nowadays plus preservatives all increase omega 6 ratio. So if you ever look on getting flaxseed oil or fish oil or MCT oil, all these things are rich in omega 3s, even eggs, which are going to increase your high density lipids. That allows you to carry the fat in the cell inside of your blood so that it can go do what it needs to do. Low density lipids can't carry enough fat. So you end up not burning enough fat because of your high omega 6 ratio. Does that make sense, Carol?
it does. It does. I'm
Mm-hmm.
processing, but it does. It does. I'm listening to you talk about, how the foods, some foods are high or rich in omega 6s. And I that's something, of course, that I've not paid attention to. I haven't. I've not paid attention to that. But, as a result of our conversations, our weekly conversations, I'm paying more attention, to what I eat and the things that I ingest. So I'll have to look at that. I'll have to look for that. I do take
Mm-hmm.
multivitamins. I do take a multivitamin though. I
Oh,
do
you
do that.
do?
I do.
Sweet.
I take a multivitamin, and I also take there's I love this I'm a tea drinker. That's my breakfast. My tea is
Mm.
my breakfast. I know, but I they're herbs that are for the immune system and to help you detox and all that stuff. I have that in the morning as well
Like dandelion root.
with my tea. Exactly. But I put it's a pack. I don't know if you Herbal Zap. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
Herbal Zap. Are you familiar with Herbal Zap?
I'm familiar with a lot of things like that. Yeah.
Okay, so I put it in my tea, and I drink it with my tea every morning.
Ooh.
In addition to my vitamins.
Yeah. People can take a page out of your book. Drinking teas in the morning instead of maybe bean water, aka coffee.
Oh,
that
what?
you know, I, limiting your caffeine, leveraging more teas because it's going to bring you more antioxidants and
Mm.
more benefits that different types of teas and herbs can bring, rather than just being water.
Yeah, I've never really been a coffee drinker. Of course. Now you all talk to me. You hear me. You see me. You see that I'm typically on 10. So I do not need coffee. I don't need the caffeine. So I tend to look for teas that are either decaffeinated or have very low caffeine. But I like
Hmm.
tea leaves as well.
Hmm.
I'm big on my leaves. I'm like a tea connoisseur. I have every tea imaginable in my kitchen. I have a whole closet dedicated to
Take a
teas.
picture of that thing one day and show me what you got.
Okay,
We
I
can talk
sure
about more
will.
caffeine today, not teas. I'll talk about teas another day.
Oh no, we need to talk about teas because that's my thing. It's really my thing. I want to take a moment to go back to our socials. Just to recognize some of the comments that our family members are making. Ms. Diane, she helped me out. She said that the class where she learned about making the paint is at the senior center. It's an art class at the senior center. Well, Ms. Diane, I might just come with you because they might not let me come in by myself, but I might come with you if I can because that sounds like fun. Ms. Lola, hi, Ms. Lola. It's been a minute. She writes, hey, hey. She's listening on the Acela. And she shares that she takes a multivitamin every day amongst other vitamins. That's me. Miss Cheryl Lucas, she shares that this is her favorite subject. Cheryl Hicks Lucas, let me get that right. And Ms. Diane also follows up by saying that when she was diagnosed with osteoporosis, her vitamin D3 level was very low. Her doctor told her that it was very low and suggested a supplement.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So when it comes to any sort of deficiencies, yeah, let's get into that. Multivitamins are really going to keep your vitality levels on 10. And as long as those things are on 10, that means your hormones will be able to fluctuate correctly. Your hormones are going to tell you or message in the body, hey, we need more calcium going to the bones. In order for the body to be receptive of those things, it all starts with your vitamins. So the number one thing that we always hear about is vitamin D. Vitamin D you can get from the sun. You can get vitamin D from foods. I'm just going to list a whole bunch of vitamins for a quick sec, and I can actually tell you where to get these vitamins so you can actually incorporate it into your food, into your palate, how you eat on a daily basis, and also what you can look for in your multivitamin. I'm not the type of person to recommend brands because I am not endorsing them and they haven't paid me yet. But
that's right.
I do have, I do have some recommendations where you can go get vitamins that are reputable. So let me just list a couple right now, a few. Vitamin D is number one that you want to maintain at 10. You go get your sun and you look in your foods for vitamin D. Number two, omega 3s. Number three is magnesium. Vitamin B6 or any sort of vitamin B complex. You'll hear complex a lot in your vitamins.
Yep, I take that.
Iron. Oh my gosh. I can't stress iron enough.
Yeah, I need iron. Yeah, I'm the one. Yeah, okay.
Iron and zinc and magnesium combined, I'm telling you right now, those three are powerhouses for your immunity.
Okay.
After that comes vitamin K and vitamin A.
Vitamin K, I've never heard that.
Oh yeah, it's cool, right? It's not potassium. It's not, K. It's vitamin K.
Vitamin K.
Yeah, in science, there's an abbreviation for potassium as like K, but we're talking about vitamin K.
So it's not potassium?
Yes, take potassium too.
No, I mean vitamin K is not potassium.
I'm messing myself up. Maybe it is.
Wait,
Vitamin K is vitamin K.
Okay, listen. Get us right now, Dylan. What don't you have me confused over here?
Potassium is potassium, and vitamin K is vitamin K.
Okay. I never heard of that. Oh, wow. Oh, wait, I do want to interrupt for just a moment because we have a question. Ms. Hicks Lucas is asking about triglycerides. She shares that hers are high and she doesn't know why because she takes a lot of vitamins and she studies nutrition.
Go ahead and run that back to me again.
Triglycerides. She's asking about. She's asking. She would like to know what can cause high triglycerides.
There we go. So high triglycerides is just fat. Fat are triglycerides. They break down to triglycerides.
Okay.
They're long chains of lipids, and triglycerides is another word. If you broke it down from the fat molecule and took it apart and broke it down into what it's made of, triglycerides is what you'll get. Now, if you have high triglycerides, that means you have high fat in the blood. High fat in the blood means that we're going to go back to HDL, high density or low density lipids. Let's just put this in layman's terms, high density fat and low density fat.
Okay.
Now, if you have high density fat in your body, it's going to be able to keep the fat molecules because a lipid keeps, the fat molecule holds lipids. and it's going to transfer throughout your body, and it's going to go to where it needs to go in order to serve you at that time of day.
Okay.
Now, if you have low density lipids, triglycerides will enter freely into your bloodstream instead of staying attached to the cell to go transport to where it needs to go. So what happens is your blood will have a high level of triglycerides. And then at that point, you go to the doctor and say, wow, your cholesterol is high.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're here. So what you'd want to do is obviously start walking. Get to walking instead of forcing yourself to go to the gym. Go outside and get vitamin D. Vitamin D and fat work together in order to transport to where it needs to go.
Okay, so it's okay. Okay. I want to stop for just a moment because it's time for us to take a commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to go back to our comments because we have some more questions and some more comments to address. But know that our phone lines are also open. So do not hesitate to call us so that you too can join the conversation. But stay with us, whatever you do, because we will be right back.
The WURD Radio newsletter, keeping you informed, engaged, and connected. Sign up by visiting wordradio.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page and type your email address under Connect with Us. You'll receive the latest information on WURD Radio, messages from our president and CEO, Sarah Lomax Reese, exclusive articles and multimedia content, and resources. Stay informed with the WURD Radio newsletter.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays? The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
WURD Radio is the only African American owned and operated talk radio station in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and one of only 3 remaining in the country. In the past 20 years, WURD has evolved into a multimedia, multi-platform communications company that reaches deeply into the Black community through radio, events, digital, and social media. It is considered the go-to channel to engage, interact, and connect with Philadelphia's Black community. Our brand is built on the personal legacy of our founder, Walter P. Lomax Jr., MD. Dr. Lomax was a brilliant physician who established medical centers in underserved neighborhoods throughout Philadelphia to provide high-quality healthcare to Black and Brown communities for over 30 years. One of his most ambitious acquisitions was when he purchased WURD Radio. He understood the power of ownership and the power of independent media. Through WURD, he wanted to ensure that Philadelphia's Black community had the ability to speak and be heard in their own voice. We are celebrating 20 years of Black excellence. We are celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media. This vignette was brought to you by Comcast, United Way, and Bank of America.
Pollution from trucks is a public health crisis. Diesel-burning trucks belch dangerous levels of pollution, and communities living near ports and along freight corridors breathe especially high levels of this dirty air. But this crisis has a solution. My name is Sasan Sadat, and I work for Earth Justice. I'm working to clean up our air quality, particularly for communities that bear the burden of diesel pollution. For the sake of our lungs, our health, and our climate, the future of trucking in this country has got to be zero emissions. Until then, I will never rest.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Earth Justice is fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. If clean air matters to you, visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Are you looking for courageous conversations equipped with the verbal gymnastics worthy of an Olympic gold medal? Well, look no further than Evening Words with host Nick Taliaferro, Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, streaming online at wordradio.com, on social, and on the Word Radio app. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
And we are back. Welcome back, family. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. It is Tuesday, so that means it's our Tuesday tune-up with Dillon Swaine. Before the commercial break, we were talking about triglycerides. Now, Dillon, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I'm not sure that I understood what you were saying about the triglycerides. I did understand that you said it's basically it's fat in the blood, and it's not getting to where it needs to get. But you did say that vitamin D is helpful. Did you say that?
Mm-hmm.
You said vitamin D is helpful, and you said exercise as well, right? Walking.
That's right.
Okay.
So
Okay.
when it comes to your triglycerides, yeah, vitamin D, walking, and also eating high density lipid rich foods such as like omega-3 foods.
Like what?
Oh, what types of foods?
Yes. I don't
Let's
know
do
what
it.
foods are. What like what?
So there are plenty of foods where you can get omega-3s from. You got
Okay.
eggs. You've got salmon. You've
Oh,
got flaxseed oil and nuts. What else can we put out there?
well, I got the
Quick
first two.
Google search. Yeah, the quick. I don't want to name food groups that are like beef, liver, kidney, like any sort of healthy fat that you would get naturally from a meat or
Mhm.
naturally from a nut
Okay.
is an omega-3.
Are cashews good? Good
Oh
for
yeah.
you? Well, they're good. They're delicious, but are they good for you?
Oh yeah. Everything in
Oh,
moderation though. I just want to put out there when it comes to nuts and legumes, those are the most major causes of people putting too much fat in their body because it's so easy to eat trail mix and dip your whole hand in that thing and start scooping and just guzzling it down because it's
listen,
like it's small and it tastes good. It's salty.
my lord. Me and cashews. Oh yeah, we're best friends.
I'll let you know right now, one serving of cashews is
Uh-huh.
enough because once you have 4 servings of cashews, you've eaten your entire fat serving for a day. When it comes to protein, carbs, and fats, if you eat 4 handfuls and you're not really walking out there and moving around, getting into high mental high mental energy thoughts, like let's say if your job is accounting and you're focused on that computer, if your job is creating and you have to sit down and use your brain and think hard.
Right.
Your brain is literally just a fatty substance. It uses fat in order to operate. So if you're eating a whole bunch of nuts, but not utilizing it on the other end to get it out of your body for, as its benefits,
Mm-hmm.
then it's just going to be stored as fat.
Okay, so that's what's happening with me. That's
Is
what's going on. No, it must be. I mean, I'm seated a lot. I do. In any event, heavens to Murgatroyd. I want to take a moment to go back to our socials because we have some additional comments on our socials, and I definitely want to address them. Hey there, Nico. Nico is joining us. And Nico writes, peace, everybody. Dillon, I try to take liquid vitamins as much as possible for better absorption. What are your thoughts on tablets versus capsules, or tablets or capsules versus liquid?
Hey, to each their own. Don't second guess yourself. If you like liquids because you don't like taking a pill, go for the liquid.
So they're no less effective.
There's nuances, as in, like, yeah, maybe a percentage, but it's not to the point that's going to give you less of a benefit
Okay.
or more of a hurt, more of a detriment.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
not negligible.
Okay. Okay.
Go
Okay.
for cheaper option, high quality.
Okay. So the next question, Ms. Lola asks, are the Goalie apple cider vinegar pills good for weight loss?
Goalie. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay, I love this
Uh-oh.
question. Apple cider vinegar is a great thing to start using. It has tons of uses for your skin, for you can either just put it into a hot cup and smell it, you can drink it, you can take it as a capsule.
Okay.
Apple cider vinegar is a good source of well, it does a tons of things for you. That's going to take a whole nother video. Listen, don't get too caught up on the pill or taking it versus like a drink in the morning. Both
Uh-huh.
of them are going to do the same effect.
Is
What's
it
going
good
to
for weight loss? I'm
it
sorry.
will help you with some weight loss.
Okay.
Now, I stay away from when I see mainstream media say, "Hey, take apple cider vinegar. It's going to help you with weight loss."
Right,
I
right,
look at
right.
this marketing and I'm just like, but you're forgetting how people are eating, if they're walking, what their job is, how their posture is, if they're flexing their core more than others, you
Mm-hmm.
know, their vitamin count and their hormones. So yeah, it all helps. But what about all the other things? And that's why we're talking about vitamins today, because this is the top of the chain and how everything comes down from vitamins. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, it will help you with weight loss as long as everything else is maintained. Make
Listen,
sense?
all this maintenance here. Okay, so so we've got a few more questions. Ms. Lola asks, what are good workouts to come down on weight and to strengthen the tummy? We all want to know the answer to that question,
What do you think I'm going to say?
Dylan. Walking.
There we go. Listen,
I
people don't
told
like to
you.
hear it. A lot of people don't like to hear it, but we're humans. We have legs. We can't just sit down more than we're moving because we're
Mm-hmm.
just going to mess up our posture, hunch over. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to not be using our core to contract our spine, to contract our body so that it aligns up straight with our spine. Your core, your stomach, your core. I like to think of core as a combination of not just your stomach. I like to think of that as from the top of your knees
Okay.
to your shoulders. I think that's what core is. It's your
Okay.
trunk.
Okay.
So exercises specifically to strengthen up your tummy and to start bringing it in closer to your belly. First and foremost, I think of this from what's the one exercise that's going to encompass mind, body, and spirit all in one? Because if I don't
Mm-hmm.
have time, I can't exercise, right? Most people can't think that they have time. So I'll get to it. Zazen, sitting in a pose, a meditative pose, to where you can breathe and start focusing on contracting your core.
Mm-hmm.
As you sit in a pose, you can actually do it in your chair. I recommend everybody do this as a beginner.
Okay.
5 minutes sitting in your chair, pull back your shoulders, pull back your neck, and slowly let your eyes close until you can let a little bit of sunlight in. Where you breathe from, you put your left hand over your right, you touch the thumbs, and you create a circle. This little circle that I'm demonstrating here, you cover 3 inches below your belly. And that's where you want to breathe from. You'll
Mm-hmm.
notice that you'll start to use your diaphragm and you're contracting your intercostals and your abdomen, which are basically the muscles around your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
As you contract that more, your body's going to be more receptive of using those muscles throughout your day as you're walking and sitting. Therefore, you're contracting even more without even lifting a weight or going to walk yet. So if you're
Right.
doing one thing first, I recommend Zazen because it's going to clear your mind, strengthen up your stomach, align your spine. It's literally the total package. Number 2 is get to walking immediately right afterwards. You can make
Okay.
phone calls to your loved ones. You can make phone calls to anybody you need. Look on your phone and do some social media. Pray to God. You can listen to some music. You can do anything when you're walking.
Mm-hmm.
And especially after Zazen, after you just primed your body up to use your core.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you walk, heel, toe, shoulders, back, now your core is even more engaged because it has to align everything as you're walking in an unstable environment, going against gravity, stepping on, going up hills and whatnot. Number 3, after you do all this, If you
Mhm.
skip all this, you're hurting my soul, you're hurting your soul. But if you skip all this and you just want to go straight to the workout, let's say if you're just at the gym and you just need something real quick, or you
Mhm.
woke up in the morning, you think you don't have time, you need something to just do. Hey, listen, I recommend holding a plank. There's something called 3D matrix, which will allow you to activate all 66 vital points of your body. Uh,
Okay.
if you look this up, it's called a 3D matrix, 3D matrix mobility, and it stemmed from the Great Institute, GREY Institute. And a buddy of mine actually talked to me about this, and he like drilled it into my brain that Dylan, this is how you really stay mobile, and you can actually keep your body tight without just sitting down and all that stuff. So it's a 3D matrix. I recommend you go check that out. On another day, we can talk about it. But
Well, I
hold
mean, you can't just leave us hanging. What does that mean? What is it, Dylan? What is a 3D matrix? You said go check it out. No, that's why we're talking to you. What is a 3D matrix? What is that?
right. It's so complex to just give it to you now. So I'll just try to bring it down to basic
What?
terms.
How do we get from
Just-
walking to the complexity of a 3D matrix? Wait.
You're right. It's you're right.
But
So
I mean, no, but no. I'm not shooting it down because our family members are at different levels. There are some of our family members who work out, constantly all the time, and they're probably familiar with the 3D matrix. Is 3D matrix? Did you
oh,
say?
that's right.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, it's just a person like myself I love walking. I'm the walking person, so I have no clue about about what you're speaking. This is something new, though, right? The 3D
Mhm.
matrix. It's new.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
actually new. It's coming out, and it's being more. It's the light shining on this. You know how there's something new that comes out, and it takes time for it to really get into mainstream media. This is one of those things
Okay.
because
So
it's
this.
literally coming away from foundational bro split bodybuilding or bra split bodybuilding and techniques, which will
Okay.
leave you like hurting, sore, bones hurting, back aching, and all that stuff.
Yeah. Now walking. I can do the walking. I haven't gotten to planking. I haven't gotten there yet, but I do want to go back to our conversation for just a moment.
Hmm.
First of all, family, I'm always all over the place, but I want to make sure we cover a few things. And because I know I have questions and so do our family members, and I don't want to just, stay in one lane. So,
Right.
so because of that, what do you think of gummy vitamins?
Hey, I stay away from gelatin altogether because I don't find a need to put gelatin in my body.
Okay.
Though, if you like, the thing about gelatin and gummies is that scientifically and factually, you cannot put all the vitamins necessary that one would really want to put in their body.
Hmm.
Let's say if it's like a 1 day a pill or like a
Okay.
multivitamin that has like 4 in a pack. There's reasons for that because you can't really put all of that into one gummy and keep it stable and make it taste good. So that's why when it comes to gummies, it's going to limit how much vitamins you're taking in that dose, which is why brands will have this gummy for vitamin C, this gummy for vitamin for iron, this gummy for this.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah, I have texture issues, so I'm not the gummy girl, but I did want to know, for our family members who may have an interest in wanting to take gummies, or they might
Yeah, I
want to know.
recommend you don't take gummies.
So your recommendation is that we stay away from gummies.
Yeah, go for the pill because it's going to allow you to take more vitamins in at once.
Okay. Okay. All right. Family, if you have just joined us, welcome. Welcome. Hi there. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Listen, you can join the conversation, and you can do so by commenting on our socials, or you can call us at 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. I was sharing earlier when we were talking about nuts. I love cashews, but as a result of one of our family members Ron suggested to me about almonds. So I bought some almonds, and I've been eating those too, eating my almonds as well. So I'm happy to hear you say that, well, I know everything in moderation, but I'm happy to hear you say that, eating the nuts is a good call as well. And some of our family members shared that they too are eating almonds. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. So now you were talking about walking. Some of our family members said, okay, look, I'm not the walker. I don't do that. But they would like to know about swimming and biking and things of that nature. What do you say to that?
Yeah, I mean, swimming and biking are low impact endurance exercises. So,
okay. So you're in favor of those things as well.
My first thing would be towards walking. Second would be towards rowing. Third would be towards swimming and cycling. Because if you're swimming, it's very low impact. You're not building muscle. I'm just going to let you know right now. You're not building muscle. You're just actually burning calories and keeping mobility.
Well, that might be the goal. For some of us it is, but I do want to address that. But it's time for us to go to a commercial break. So family, stay with us because we're going to continue this conversation when we come back. Stay with us.
Word Radio Digital Tip of the Month with Stephanie Humphrey is brought to you by Comcast.
It doesn't have to be the dog days of summer for your gadgets to overheat. Your smartphone will usually become physically warm to the touch, but here are some other signs your devices are getting too hot. If apps or other programs freeze up, basic functions take longer than usual, or your laptop or smartphone shuts down unexpectedly, that could mean that it's too hot. If you think your device is overheating, here's what you can do. Keep gadgets out of direct sunlight, especially in the car. Make sure your laptop fan isn't being blocked, and turn down the brightness or take the case off of your device. This might also be a cue for you to take a little break for a while as well. Finally, make sure you're not resting any devices on your bare skin. You could actually get burned if your smartphone or laptop gets overheated. Keep your cool and stay safe this summer with your tech. And stay tuned to WURD for more tips and stay connected with us at wordradio.com.
What are you waiting for? If you've been enjoying the information and interviews WURD provides every day or come out to our community events, it might be time to become a member. This year marks the 20th anniversary of WURD, and there's no better time to join the forward movement. Sign up or renew your sustaining membership at just $90 or your digital membership for just $5 a month. Join online at wordradio.com/membership or pick up the phone and give us a call at 215-425-7875. Press 4 for assistance. The time to join is now.
What am I waiting for?
Let's face it, life looks a little different. During these times, we're doing our best to keep our minds and bodies strong. And getting a flu shot helps us stay healthy, so we don't miss out on what matters. Like having game night at home. Yeah, can't do that while sick with the flu. Now imagine family movie night that your daughter can't live without. Well, that's ruined. And don't forget your uncle's socially distanced cookout. See, that's why it's important to be at our strongest. Every year, millions of people in the U.S. get the flu. Especially now, no one has time to miss out on moments that matter. So get your flu shot. Find out more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
Word Radio is happy to provide our listeners with the opportunity to participate in contests and win prizes. This is a reminder of our contest rules. All participants must be 18 years of age or older. Depending on the contest, persons may win only one prize from the radio station per contest for every 30-day period. Some contests might also specify one winner per household or company. Prizes must be claimed within 14 days or by 12 noon the day before the event, whichever is sooner, and must be accepted as is or forfeited. The radio station employees and their immediate relatives, sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, live remote sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, and any other media employee are ineligible to win prizes. Thank you for participating and for listening to WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
is love.
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Today is Tuesday, so it's time for our tune-up, Tuesday tune-up with Dillon Swaine. And today we're talking about vitamins. We're talking about a lot of stuff, but we started with vitamins. And on that note, I want to go back to the conversation we started, but before we do so, I want to address one of our callers that has been waiting. One of our family members is waiting to talk with us. So are you still there by any chance? Uh-oh, I hear. Oh, hello.
Talk to us.
Okay. So
All
what
right.
we'll do, I'm not really sure. It sounds like there's a technical issue. That may very well be. So what I will do in the meantime, until we're able to secure a good connection with our family member, I'll go back to the conversation that was started. So you were talking with us about your preferences. You said walking first, then rowing, and then you would suggest swimming and biking because you were saying that they don't really build muscle. So what if the goal is to, well, you were saying, about fighting. Here, listen to me. Losing calories is it? What were you saying? Fighting. I'm fighting. But you were saying it doesn't build muscle. Should that always be the goal?
Exactly.
It
Shouldn't
should.
muscle always be the goal? I
We
mean,
just want to lose weight. Should we?
let me ask you this, Carol. If your back or your bones start to hurt, what's
Okay.
covering your bones?
Okay.
Isn't it muscle?
Okay. But I just want to lose weight. That's all I want to
Right.
do.
So
But
when
I
it comes to talk to me.
no. Go right ahead. You said when it comes to exercising, I know, there should be a goal. There's an end goal. But typically for me, if I'm exercising, it's because I want to either lose weight or maintain the weight at which I am at that time. So I'm usually not thinking about muscle. I think of muscle and I think of it just doesn't feel or look attractive to me when I think about that. So that's from where that came. I was thinking like, ooh.
So, okay, cool. I want everybody to get rid of the stereotype right now. This is where there's no there's no debate here. This is kind of what happens. When
Okay.
your body has muscle, it's going to burn more calories because in order for the body to function,
Mm-hmm.
it needs to burn calories in order to function. And if you have
Okay.
muscle on the body to help you go grab a box to go help you play with your kids, it's going to allow you to increase your strength in order to keep that muscle in your body. The heart is a muscle, just so you guys know. In order to keep that muscle in your body, it's going to have to burn calories. So the more lean weight you have, which is muscle, the more calories you're going to burn without you having to do anything. Which is why I always say you'd want to start from a place of building muscle versus just shedding off the body fat. Because you can shed off body fat by going to swim, walk, run, sprint, diet. But if you don't put back on the muscle, what's going to happen is the fat's going to slowly creep back up onto you. And then what's also going to happen is you might see yourself getting skinny fat, where your body can show that it's, oh yeah, I got, a 4 6 pack, I have some sort of tightness here, but in actuality, you're getting real thin. And so it's just sucking in. It's just showing what's on, it's showing your human body.
Oh,
So
your
that's all.
skeleton. Okay. Okay. I don't
Is
like
there
the
a
way I
muscle
feel like I
surgery?
was scolded right there. I feel like I've been scolded. But listen, but okay, let me
No.
address some of our family members who are commenting on our socials. Timothy is joining us. Hey, Tim. Timothy Robinson is joining us, and he asks, aren't there issues with pills dissolving in our bodies?
Not too sure what that means. Are there issues when you take the pill? No.
No. Like
The pills that are made nowadays are cased with I don't know what they're cased with. I'd have to actually go look that up, but
okay.
it's like pig skin when you eat a sausage. You know, like by the way, I hope you guys know when you eat sausages, that's
Mm,
that's pig skin. Anyways,
that mm-mm.
so like, is there a problem with pig skin when it dissolves? Nah, you know, it's just food. But again, science has come so far away where it's soluble.
Okay.
Soluble means it dissolves and it's able to, you know, it's usually gelatin. It's usually gelatin.
Wait, they're coating our pills with pig skin?
No, they're coating sausages. Like
Oh,
sausage is
okay.
pig skin.
Okay, I'm so glad I asked that question because I was really vexed for a moment there. I was really having a time digesting that. Okay. All right, so the sausages. Okay, well, I'm good on that. I'm not eating the sausages, but the pills are good because they're coated with listen, I just want clarity, that's all. So with what they're coating the pills that dissolves. So we don't have to worry about that.
Right. No,
Okay.
you have to worry
All
about
right.
that.
Okay. Okay.
So I actually
This
want
is
to come
listen. Wait,
back
this
to some of our open loops. We have some open loops that we didn't even close yet from our earlier conversation about, you know, vitamin D, vitamin K,
okay.
potassium, vitamins. So I want to close these loops. Would you mind if we do that so we can help
No,
people
I
out?
don't mind it. Are you kidding?
All right, guys. So when it comes to your vitamins, we already understand that vitamins are at the top of the pyramid on what you'd want to maintain at, you know, a good level. When when you go to the doctor and you get your blood drawn and they tell you what's in your blood, ask about what vitamins are you're deficient in. Now, a fat soluble vitamin is vitamin D. Your body can make vitamin D from the sun. You're not a plant, but it can make vitamin D from the sun. And
Okay.
vitamin D, when you take it in from food groups, is fat soluble, which means that the body will absorb and retain calcium and phosphorus, and it's gonna help build your bones.
Okay.
It's fat soluble, so that means it can go inside your bloodstream and be inside of your lipids, which means it can travel inside of your high density lipid. If
Okay.
you don't have good omega-3 content, which are going to lead to better cholesterol and higher density lipids or higher density fats, all of that's just going to seep out and it's not going to get to where it needs to, which you may end up leading to osteosporosis or vitamin D deficiencies.
Mm.
Now, vitamin K. Vitamin K, we talked about this. It is different than potassium. I just want to get that clear.
Mhm.
Vitamin K is a vitamin. Potassium is a nutrient source. So
Okay.
vitamin K is going to help prevent your blood clotting and is going to aid in your bone production. Okay.
Okay.
So if you ever heard of blood clots coming along or hey, I'm at risk for blood clots, you'd want to increase your vitamin K. And the food that have vitamin K are actually carrots,
Mhm.
lamb, liver, mostly your organs, mostly, you know, the good meats that we would hear in the Caribbean or here like outside of the US that we don't really get put into our brains.
Right, right. Okay.
If you ever heard of Liver King, I'm not gonna bring this man up again, but if you ever heard of Liver King, he's pushing that for a reason.
I love liver.
Hey.
I mean, I haven't now I'll say this because my mother used to make it for me when I was, of course, younger. Well, in my adult life too, because I like the way she made it. She would, I love the way she made liver. I have not tried to make it in my adult life, which sounds crazy as much as I love it, but I love lamb too, lamb and liver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
lamb
recommend
is
eating lamb, liver, kidney twice a week. I'm telling you, your body is your skin's gonna get tight. You're gonna feel more energetic. I promise you, there was nothing bad that's gonna come from it, unless it's
re-
all right. But after that comes potassium, because we did mention that. Now, the
yes.
chemical name, like the abbreviation for potassium, is K. It's not vitamin K.
Okay.
Potassium is a mineral that functions as an electrolyte
Way
in
to
the body,
confuse us, y'all.
right? So electrolytes help you with muscle movement.
Okay.
Now, if you ever heard of people getting cramps throughout their workouts or Charlie horses, That's because they have an electrolyte deficiency, meaning they need some sodium, calcium, vitamin, or potassium immediately. And if you ever see your Gatorade, or not Gatorade is a very bad example of electrolytes. I hope
I was
you
about to
know.
say, is Gatorade good for us?
Gatorade is just a whole bunch of carbs, sugar, and it allows you to get a boost of
Okay.
glucose in your body, which will liven
Okay.
you up because your body needs glucose. Your glucose, just so you guys know, glucose allows your body to do everything. That is the building block of, energy. It's a sugar. Carbs break down into glucose. Sugar is glucose. Now you can get, I don't want to get too far into this because it's going to get off topic, but
Oh, no,
bread.
no, no. What I want to do is just pause for a moment because, see, I get lost in the time when I'm listening to you explain all of this and break it down. I just learned about vitamin K. I never heard about a vitamin K before today. So, what we're going to do right now, family, is take a short commercial break, but we've got so much more to talk about. So, stay with us because we'll be right back.
Summer is here, and so is WURD's annual Summer of Freedom Tour. WURD Radio is proud to partner with Philadelphia Parks and Recreation and the Center for Families and Relationships for a summer of fun, freedom, and healthy communities. Join us in Germantown, Overbrook, North Philly, and Southwest Philly, where Tanya Pendleton will broadcast live each Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Discover all that our recreation centers have to offer. Meet with mental health specialists who will provide support to children impacted by gun violence. Join WURD's community partners for hands-on outdoor activities and hear live performances from local artists. Win tickets and prizes and stand with WURD by joining or renewing your 4WURD membership on site. Meet us at the Tustin Recreation Center, 5901 West Columbia Avenue on Thursday, July 20th. Summer of Freedom is brought to you by Comcast, Pico, Keystone First, and the Energy Co-op.
The job search can be a difficult and frustrating process. WURD's Livelihood Initiative was designed to help you find the right opportunity for your next professional move. Check out these recent openings posted on the Livelihood job board at wordworks.com. Brown ShopRite and Fresh Grocer are hiring cashiers at multiple locations. And Herb Foods are hiring truck drivers, various warehouse shift laborers, and a sales representative. For more information on these jobs and many others, go to wordworks.com and learn more about the Livelihood Initiative. Brought to you by WURD Radio, progressive Black talk media.
Hey, did you feel that?
Feel what?
Feels like a wave just hit me. I think something's happening at WURD Radio.
Are you ready?
WURD Radio's rocking the boat and bringing you new programming. Beginning Monday, June 26th, check out some of your old favorites and new additions in new time slots. Morning Drive begins with The Source with Andrea Lawful Sanders, Monday through Friday from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., followed by Wake Up with WURD with Solomon Jones, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Get your news and entertainment from Reality Check with Tanya Pendleton, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Keeping it real with Reverend Al Sharpton returns to the middays, Monday through Thursday, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Your drive time remains enlightened by Evening Words with Nick Taliaferro, Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And grab a nightcap from Love and Life with Carol Riddick, Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Listen on air and online at wordradio.com. WURD Radio, celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media. Celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media. We're bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online at wordradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
family. Hey there. Welcome back. Welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. So listen, we've been talking with Dillon Swaine because it's Tuesday and it's time for our tune up. That's what we do on Tuesdays. We tune up with Dillon Swaine. So we started the conversation. I don't like that look, Dillon. We started the conversation talking about vitamins, and we are talking about everything as it pertains to vitamins. But before we go any further, I want to go back to our phone lines to see if we can't possibly talk with our family member that was waiting earlier. Are you still there by any chance?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, hey, Ron.
Yes, hi, Dylan.
Hey,
I want to get right to it. Hey, Mr. Dylan, are you familiar with John Wayne's situation about his intestines, about the fetal that was in his body? Well, let me get to my comments, sir. And some things you said, I totally disagree with that. I am 80 years of age. My skin is cleaner than a baby's behind. That's my diet because I've used since I was a child with the almonds and the prunes and other things like that. The elder lady learned me how to save myself. Even as a man today, how to cleanse myself. Women and men really don't know how to do that. And I want to be careful when I say that. And because of it, my energy, I have good genes. Thank you, Almighty God, for that. Not bragging, but thank you for giving me that. And it's all about controlling your body. Everything is not for everybody, and everything that you eat is in moderation, as you said. And it's all about the doctors are even saying certain things. I know when I was into the hospital for operation on my leg, and I knew some of the things they were saying was not true because of my early learning from the elders how to take care of myself. And sir, because I know how to take care of myself at 80, when I go to the laboratory, and I'll be very radio smart what I'm saying, my urine and stuff do not have an odor to it, sir, to the extreme. The body is like the intestines are like, it's a wonderful mechanism that goes through, that comes out, little in, little out. And I've been very fortunate to have that, sir. And if you continue to put food in your body, it becomes like a garbage can. It pressures everything like that. It all comes down. It all comes down to, sir?
We're here.
It all comes down to dieting. Because if the body is not made to be treated like an animal, and I'm not telling people what to eat. And that's why people are having the problems. I'm very blessed not to have prostate or any of those things. But because I have taken care of myself, with the elder learning, it's all about, it's a business today. And when I get up in the morning, so when I meet someone, I'm going to tell them how to cleanse themselves. Cleanse themselves. That's the key. The medical business is a business giving you this medicine. I'll tell you what to do, Mr. Dillon. Get the movie called The Fantastic Voyage. And it shows you inside that body, it shows you how all the organs in that body work. Oh, nah. I understand that. Thank you for listening to me, sir. Continue to eat your almonds and meditate and have your bowel movements, and that's the key of life. And ask God to be the mediator in your health and strength. And it can help you. These hospitals and the places not made to help you. They can help enhance a little bit. I had it with a doctor, and I told the doctor, what you're saying, sir, is not true. And I proved myself to be right. After I did that, I signed myself out. And the Bible says, pick up your bed and walk. I didn't pick up that hospital bed, but I walked out of there because I knew what them people were telling me was not true. Love thyself. The Lord give you dominion over life. We're sick in some cases, because we do not know how to treat our body and we're not appreciative of our body. It's a pressure.
I can agree with that. Ron, I'm sorry, but I have to. Ron, I'm so sorry. I want to thank you first. First and foremost, I want to thank you for continuously contributing to the conversation.
Thank you for that passion.
No, absolutely. The passion, the compassion, but at the same time, I definitely have to be mindful of our time and the contributions of our other family members. But Listen, I'm in agreement. I am in agreement with you, Ron. I already told you I have my almonds. I'm drinking my water. I'm working on my meditation. I've not gotten to the full 5 minutes because my mind races. I wake up in the middle of the night, like, oh my goodness, I'm that person. So I'm working on my meditation and all of that good stuff. But you said it yourself. Everything is not for everybody. So we talk about everything here on the show, and some things may be like some things may be beneficial to some while they may not be beneficial to others. So we talk about everything here. We share information. It's all about education here. It's about communication here. So that's what we do. So
That's
I'm
right.
so glad that you contribute to the conversation. I just want to say that because you know that I always appreciate you and your contributions. I want to
I
take a
couldn't
moment.
really understand what he was saying. What he disagreed with. What was some of the things that he said that worked for him? That
He was saying that almonds are the key for him. He says that water, and he says that almonds have been the key for him. I believe his biggest disagreement was with about the meat, the lamb and the liver.
Oh, so
If
is
I'm not
he
mistaken,
vegetarian?
but I
Is he
believe those
vegetarian?
were his biggest disagreements. Yes, I wasn't clear on them, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe that was with what he disagreed most because he was saying that.
Gotcha.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm,
if you're vegetarian, listen. If you're vegetarian or vegan, um, to each their own. And with
mhm,
every sort of dietary, well, I don't even want to call it dietary anymore. With every sort of lifestyle, because that's the type of time
mhm,
Ron is on, lifestyle. Which every sort of lifestyle that you live, you're gonna have to understand the advantages and your disadvantages.
mhm.
When you're going out, when you're living in America, it's hard to leave a very vegan and vegetarian lifestyle, especially if you're in like the Midwest. It's everything is fried foods and catfish
Uh,
and whatnot.
well, I travel a
So
lot. It's difficult. It's very
right,
difficult.
it's difficult. And if you're able to find the foods and if you're able to get the knowledge and do what Ron did and actually soak in that knowledge, then
Mhm.
you're able to navigate the entire world and choose exactly what you want. And I love that. So if you're ever gonna go vegan or vegetarian or paleo, I don't recommend you stick to a diet. I
Mhm.
recommend that you stick to a lifestyle that incorporates all the vitamins, electrolytes, the protein, carbs, and fats that your body needs.
I can agree with that. But the one thing I will say, and you said this, and some of our other guests have that said this in the past,
Mhm.
and I am going to repeat it. It's about finding out what works for you. It's about finding out
Exactly.
what you're deficient in your body and what will be helpful. Um, Tim shared that Ron also mentioned that medicine is a big business. Yes, he did. Yes, he
Listen,
did.
shoot,
He did
I
say
work in
and he's
I major
right.
in forensic science. That's right.
He no, he is so right about that. I cannot stress. If I may just go
Right.
off, mix apples with
Here
oranges
we go.
for a moment. Here we you're absolutely right. Here we go.
Make that
Because
smoothie.
I was a caretaker to both of my parents. And when you talk about medicine being big business, especially and particularly for seniors, it, I was frustrated more than not because I was constantly arguing, constantly advocating with certain physicians whose first order, all they wanted to do was prescribe. And but my father's physician, he was a geriatric physician, and he did not. I loved him. My mother's physician, and that was a whole nother story. But in any in any event,
Mm.
uh, I found myself having a time. Ron is absolutely right. Medicine is big business, big business.
It's also
But
helpful business, just so you know.
it's a what?
It's helpful and it's big. There's always going to be politics in everything. I always recommend
Absolutely.
that you do your research.
But you say
But
you
let's
talk about moderation. Well, no, we talk about moderation though, because I do want to be clear. I'm
yeah.
sharing my own personal experience with it.
Mhm.
Medicine can be helpful. It can, in some instances, be helpful, but be
Especially
mindful.
herbal.
But now I'm big on herbs. I'm big on herbs. That didn't come out right. It didn't sound right. I want to say the herbs I'm talking about is what I was telling you. My supplement, for immunity for my immune system. Because that I don't indulge in any other type of herb. Let me be clear. So let me go back to our family members who are commenting. Ah, yes. So Alfredia is joining us. She writes, "Good evening." She agrees with the reference to lifestyle instead of diet. As do I. As do I. I'm not a dieter. That's that's never been my life. Miss Julie, she shares, "One love, Dylan. Is there a litmus paper for non-diabetics to use for checking glucose levels?"
That's a great question. That's a doctor question. And I am not a doctor. Hey, I will always say this every time the questions like this come up. I love this disclaimer. Don't believe anything I say. Because listen, you should always do your own research because we are just humans and we will always tell you what we know, what we look up and what we research. But I've not done any research on any sort of litmus paper to take as a diabetic. I can do that next time I come on and I can have an answer for you.
Okay. So I have another question. What when you're a huge advocate of walking. What if you have balance issues?
So if you got balance issues, this is such a catch-22.
Okay.
If you have balance issues, it means you don't want to work on your balance. Walking works on your balance. Now, if that's hard, okay, so basically, in order to work on balance, your body has muscles, tissues that may be, I guess, I don't want to say the word tight, but throughout your life, throughout your experiences, your trauma, your physical trauma, you may be more accustomed to doing, let's say, walking or sitting in a certain way. And as you become more accustomed to these things, it may restrict your posture. It may, we like to call them teammates. You may be working out throughout your life and then stop working out, and now you're just going out throughout walking, and you may be getting older, or you may just have balance issues when you're younger because of whatever case there is. But in this whole spectrum of balance comes your ability to put mind to muscle. So if you ever heard of people saying, "Hey, how do I activate my glutes in a workout? How do I activate my stomach when I'm walking?" All of these things it means mind to muscle connection. In order to do such a thing, you'd have to be mobile enough to use those connections. When you're mobile and you're able to function in your 3D space, your circle that's around you in different ways, going up to the right, sticking your arm up to the right and not feeling any tightness. Being able to touch your back, if you put your arm behind your back, like you're stretching out the back of your arm, your tricep,
Okay.
and you try to touch both hands together, all of that is mobility. If you try to do a side step or put your foot up and kick it up high, all of that is mobility. And mobility is your mind to muscle connection. And as you work on your stretching, you're able to become more functional. And that's where the 3D maps come in. If you look online, 3D maps by the Gray Institute, you'll see a whole bunch of movements that you can do in your house that will strengthen up your mobility and your functionality. That way, when you're walking, you're able to move and stay mobile instead of being restricted and unbalanced. Now, to build strength in your 3D space, you'd want to increase the weight that you're using in your functional movements, not just sitting down on a bench after a couple stretches and then doing some bench presses, not just stretching your legs and then going into some lunges and feeling like you get a stretch in your hips and your calves. All that's fine and dandy. Nowadays, we're realizing that it's not cutting the cake correctly for us. So what's cutting the cake correctly for us is allowing us to take the 3D maps and put it into our daily life so that we can become more functional. And then when you add weight and resistance to your 3D space, now you're able to become more balanced. Now you're able to become more flexible and mobile. And then from there, you can take on maybe walking and go into the gym if you're at the base layer, if you're at ground zero.
Understandable.
Does that make sense?
It does. It makes sense to me.
All right, cool.
One question I did not ask you, we've been talking about vitamins and you gave us a list. So is that universal for both men and women, or are
So
there
that's
different
universal.
vitamins? Okay. Okay.
That
So
is
that's
a
just for the
human.
human body, period.
I don't want to hear anything about lifestyle choices. This is a human thing because the body is the body and your heart needs to function. And the heart uses vitamins. The heart, your muscles use electrolytes and minerals. And
Okay.
your hormones stem from your vitamin count. If you have a low vitamin D deficiency, men, you're going to have low testosterone. Women, you're going to have low estrogen levels. Or maybe too high of something is going to increase cortisol. Cortisol is the opposite of your anabolic hormones, which is testosterone and estrogen. Cortisol, just so you guys know, if you're stressed, if you're not getting sleep, if you're not putting in omegas, if you're not keeping your protein intake up, that
Mhm.
hormone cortisol is going to eat away at your muscle. It's going to prevent you from getting your proper sleep. It's going to increase the tension and anxiety in your body. It doesn't allow you to get in full breaths, and now you're getting neck tightness because you're breathing from your upper body, and it's just a whole bad thing.
Wow.
So, yeah, like that's how crazy vitamins and electrolytes can really impact your life. So this is
I
where
mean,
people
I'm
who
learning
go on
this.
vegan diets, yeah, when people go on vegan or vegetarian lifestyles, they end up not knowing where to get these things from, and then they end up going in the hospital.
Mm.
As a forensic scientist, as a personal trainer for many years, who's been around nutritionists, doctors, patients. I worked in the morgue, guys, where they
Mm.
ended up at the end. And
Mm.
we ended up having to do research on why they ended up there in the morgue.
Mm.
And we would go through biopsies to see why this person has cancer and to see what type of cancer this is. And
Okay.
at the sum of it all, as I talked to the pathologists and the MDs, at the sum of it all, if people were eating enough vitamins, kept their electrolytes up, kept the muscle on their body so that they can burn the calories and burn the fat and get rid of the triglycerides in their bloodstream, they
Mhm.
wouldn't have had more of a susceptibility to getting cancer
Okay. Okay.
or such things as that, or bone loss.
Okay. And bone
Yeah,
density, things of that
in bone
nature.
density. Yeah, it's very important.
Oh.
That's how. Yeah.
So
So when we get into the nuances of pill or liquid, the fact that you're taking them is like putting you up on another pedestal.
well, praise
So,
God for that, because we want to
you
try,
know,
we want to help and do what's right. That's the
and when it
goal.
comes to when it comes to liquids and pills, liquids just allow your body to absorb it faster. Yes, pills allow a slow, gradual release. So if
Mhm.
your body needs that slow, gradual release, then you take a pill.
Well, I have a question about the pills. So we were talking about the coating earlier, and I was trying to not to go here, but I'm curious about what the pills are coated with. Isn't that a chemical? What is that?
Pills are coated with
With, especially if we're talking about slow release, then there's definitely a coating to aid in the slow release, right? So what is that?
so pills are coated with it can be a whole bunch of things.
Okay.
They're like finishes. It can help with, bindings. It can help with the pigment of the pill. It can
Uh-huh.
help with keeping the pill, contained. It can help with keeping the pill tasting sugary. Now,
Wow.
most companies nowadays are using organic substances or natural substances. For instance, plant sugar.
Okay.
Plant sugar is a natural substance. They're starting to use more of plant sugars in pills nowadays rather than chemical sugars made in a lab.
Okay.
So the
Okay.
information people are coming from with, you know, they were fed from the 1960s coming down into the 2000s. And since the 2000s, because of all these cases and because of light being shed on pharma,
Gotcha.
now they're starting to get with the program, and now they're starting to say, okay, we got to actually follow the rules and not just
We
go for the
need to do
cheapest
things
version,
differently.
right?
Okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I mean, that's why I asked, because that's the information that I have, the information with which I am familiar. Family, listen, if you've just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're talking with Dillon Swaine. We're talking about vitamins. We're talking about vitality. We are talking about everything under the umbrella of vitamins and health. Well, I should say both of those are two big umbrellas. But if you want to join the conversation, feel free to do so. And you can do that by commenting on our socials, or you can call us. And you can do that by dialing 215 634 8065, or you can call us at, well, toll free at 1-866 361 0900. We're going to go to commercial, but when we come back, Dillon, there's a question. Ms. Lily is joining us, and she wants to know if you have suggestions for toning upper arms and loose skin. So while you think about that, we're going to take just a short commercial break, and we will be right back.
Sweet.
Coming up at Punchline Philly, Playing to Laugh with Torre, celebrating 30 years of laughter, Langston Kerman, Godfrey, Rodman, Afion Crockett, Ali Sadiq, and more. Plus, keep the party going all summer long at Punchline's Trap R&B Brunch. Get tickets and full event info at punchlinephilly.com.
Hey, Word family, save the date, Friday, August 18th for the 2023 Founders Day celebration. Please join us in person for an all-day block party featuring a tribute to Walter P. Lomax Jr., MD, food, music, the presentation of the Community Impact Awards, and more. You can also stand with Word Radio. Start or renew your 4-Word membership on site. Save the date for our 2023 Founders Day celebration, Friday, August 18th. We are WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Remember the last time your family visited the forest? It's a place of wonder and imagination for the whole family, where stories come to life. And it's closer than you think. Ready to plan your next visit? Make the forest part of your story today at a local park near you, or find one at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Why is WURD important to the community?
It's important that there's someone from the community that's authentically talking about the problems and all the steps that need to be taken to get to a better place.
And it gives them a platform and an opportunity to share their expertise and love of the culture.
And it's critically important that people have an opportunity to speak, and it's even more important that people have an opportunity to be heard.
WURD is the community and of the community.
WURD serves as the voice for the community.
It gives a sense of connectedness among people who aren't necessarily in front of each other physically, but they feel and connect with each other over the air.
I'm so glad they're coming to Mantua.
It's in the name. WURD is the word. WURD gets the word out to the community. WURD connects the community. WURD empowers the community. WURD embraces the community.
We are 20 years strong, giving voice to the community, and without the community, there will be no WURD. We are one and the same, and it is not a game. WURD.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
And we are back. Welcome back, family. You're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Before the break, I was letting you know that one of our family members, Miss Lily, is joining us, and she asks of Dillon if you have a suggestion for toning upper arms with loose skin.
For sure. Whoa. Toning up the arms. This is every lady's dream. Let's get into it. Listen, I'm going to mention something that if you are a vegan or vegetarian, this may not sound cool for you, but there are alternatives that I'll name after. Collagen. If you ever heard of collagen, collagen allows your skin to remain tight. It allows your nails and hair to remain tight, to look more colorful, right? It builds your enamel. Now, where you can find collagen, you can find it in supplements. But the best place to find this is bone broth. Now, I wrote an article about this back in 2020 that I'm actually going to repost because of you today. So congratulations. You started this momentum. The collagen, I'm telling you right now, bone broth, when you stick a bone in water and you just boil that sucker, you're going to pull out the bone marrow and the collagen and all the nutrients from the bone. And what that does is allow you to put in, number one, calories. Number two, collagen. Number three, bone marrow. There's iron in this. There's magnesium in this. And you're not necessarily having to eat the meat. And you're staying hydrated. So that's why I say bone broth is almost like a superfood. I hate using that word superfood.
Well, any type of bone in particular?
So bone broth, you can use chicken, you can use beef.
Okay.
You know, usually it's, you know, some sort of cow or you know, ox, or let's say any sort of bone, really. You can have fish. Have you ever heard? I'm Jamaican. Have you ever heard of fish tea? Manashwata, I'll eat that thing. Oh, that's goat head soup. My fault. Have you ever heard
You
fish
gonna
tea?
say what? Wait. Now I've not heard of fish tea though, but I eat more fish than anything. I eat more fish than absolutely anything. So I would be the person. And when you say bone broth, you say bone broth. Okay,
Yeah,
I don't.
bone broth.
So
A
I
broth
could do
is
the
when
same
you
with
just
fish.
boil it. Yeah,
I-
you can. You could take the fish, if you like, literally fillet the fish and all the
Okay.
meat that's left on it, throw that in a pot, stew it a little bit. Now you're gonna get the omega-3s, the collagen, and hydration all in one.
Okay. Can I buy it? No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah, you can. You can go to the nearest store, Jamaican store, Caribbean, bodega, whatever it is, and ask for some fish tea, and they will give it to you.
Fish tea. Wait, I gotta write that down. Fish tea. I might want to try that. Fish tea. Okay. So listen, I'm looking at the time. I'm going to go back to our socials, but I want to make sure I'm mindful of our family members that are calling us as well. And one of our family members is waiting to talk with us on our phone lines. Are you still there by any chance?
This is Haraya. How are you?
Hello, I am well. Thank you, Miss Raya. Thank you for joining us.
And good evening to your guest. What is his name?
Dyllon.
I'm Dyllon.
Yes.
Hey,
Hey, Aki and breadfruit to you.
that's right.
See it now. But anyway, look, I am taking. First, I wanted to ask you two things. I have limited mobility. I'm over 60, and I basically am doing chair exercises. So when I'm running in place in the chair, I'm up to now where I can do, like, in one set, a minute and a half. You know, it took me time to work up to doing a minute and a half, and I'm just running real fast in place as I'm sitting. And then now I'm working on trying to do 2 sets of that, because I really focus a lot on my legs, because I want to be able to get back to walking again, and I don't want to get a knee replacement. Okay, long story short, am I getting my steps in? You know, you were saying, I know on another week you were saying that the goal is to do about, I think you said something about 2,000 steps. Can that running in place be considered getting the steps in? Or do you have to be actually upright and walking to get the steps in?
Good question. To get the steps in, and is that getting enough steps in, sitting in a chair and moving your legs up to running pace, up to like a running form? That counts as a partial step, I'd say. Because then again, you're not really stacked on top of your body standing up straight. Now, if you were to stand up straight and almost do like a running man, like pick up your knee, put it back down, pick up your knee.
That's not possible.
Okay, no worries.
Okay,
Starting from there in the chair, that works. Steps are steps.
Okay.
Yes, that works.
All right. So the other thing now just brought me one of those bouncing balls, but because I have weight on me, I was not able to get the ball, the independent ball, and fortunately they had the ball, the rebounder chair, where the same type of ball, but it's in a chair, and so I've just been doing that for the last 2 weeks, because I do a lot of sitting since I'm not that mobile. And now, instead of just sitting, I'm sitting and bouncing. So does that count for anything?
Are you having fun?
I'm having fun. I said this is a darn good way to exercise, like I'm like, I could do this. Shut up.
Is it helping, Dylan? Is it? Or does it depend on what?
Let me ask you this. You want me
Okay.
to give you the nice answer or the real answer? Like,
No, I'm a big girl. You can give me the real truth. But now let me just clarify. I do stop intermittently and do some things like I'll bounce with one leg up, and then I'll do it with the other leg up, or I'll be like punching up in the air while I'm bouncing, So I do some things on it, or I'll be doing, a wash machine twisting from side to side, So go ahead and give me the real nitty gritty.
okay. All right. So listen, you mentioned first and foremost the walking. Can you pick up, is it possible to, I don't know your situation, but is it possible to stand up and pick up your knee to maybe your hip level?
Yeah, I could do that holding on, pick up the knee like in a marching fashion.
That's right.
Yeah, I can do that, if I'm holding on, yeah.
Okay. First and foremost, I recommend you take off the connotation that I said earlier about having to get in those steps. To each their own, and everybody starts at a different stage. So at your stage, you be at mobility and functional stage. Functionality in order to take your muscles and do what you want to do with them. I recommend you go check out the 3D maps. I'm actually going to type it in now in the comments. 3D maps by the Gray Institute, and you'll see videos on stretches. Those stretches activate 66 vital points of your entire body, which we don't hit naturally in our days. I actually do this twice a day. And I'm telling you, like, if you're sitting down at a desk and you're about to get up, hit these movements. If you were just taking a bus and you just got off the bus, who cares if you look crazy? Hit these movements. I've done them in a bus station, in a places where I shouldn't be, in like dance. I've done it after parties because I was, whatever it is. This is the number one thing you should be incorporating in your life for functional mobility. Number two, when it comes to the balancing, it burns calories, yes. You would want to start off with something that's more of, I guess, more something that'll increase the muscle or at least maintain muscle.
Right.
Much like focusing on your posture. So as you get to your destinations, when you do have to walk, focus on the upright spine and breathing from your belly, the lower part of your belly that I talked about earlier, the 3 inches below your belly button. That's going to contract your core against your spine and set your hips neutral with your shoulders, allowing you to feel less pain and allowing your muscles to do what they need to do. And over time, you're going to increase range of motion. You're going to feel a little stronger. You're not going to feel like Hercules all of a sudden after 3 weeks or a month, but you will feel a little stronger in your posture. And that's when it's time to maybe take a 5-minute walk. When it comes to your knees, the 3D matrix will help activate the vital points that we don't use. I don't recommend you go search for a doctor's recommendation first, because they're just going to be like, oh, knee replacement. Don't worry. It's going to be quick. Don't do it.
Who you telling? I'm like, these is the best knees that God has made, and I really think you ever see those robots? Whenever you see a robot, the one thing that the robot cannot do is bend its knees. I mean, it'll bend his knees in a very robotic, and I'm like, in my conspiracy theorist mind saying, they're taking everybody's knees so they can put them inside those robots.
Ooh,
But
Mr. Ryan, Mr. Ryan.
Wait a minute. One last thing. I was prescribed vitamin D3, right? And I'm taking, what is this? 50,000 units of vitamin D3. I take one pill a week. Okay?
Yep.
Now, my question is, I just ordered me some coral calcium. Is the coral calcium this? And I don't take them both on the same day. Okay? I'll take the 50,000 units of vitamin of D3 on the once a week, and then the rest of the week I'll take the coral calcium. Now, is coral calcium and vitamin D3 the same thing?
Core, if I may hear you correctly, core calcium?
No, coral. C-O-R-A-L.
Oh. Is coral calcium and calcium the same thing?
No, coral calcium and vitamin D3.
Okay. Vitamin D3 is vitamin D. Calcium is calcium.
Oh.
Vitamin D and calcium work together.
Okay. So when I'm taking that 50,000 units of vitamin D3, that's not actually giving me calcium.
Right. No. It's helping you mobilize and utilize calcium in the right way.
Okay.
So it's basically saying like it's a double whammy effect. Your calcium and your vitamin D work together. If you're deficient on one end, the other side is going to be lacking a little bit because it can't optimize itself. It can't work properly in order to give you the benefit.
I see.
Right.
Okay, and not to wear out my welcome, but one last thing. Now, I'm taking the CoQ10. I take it in the form of the ubiquinol. I'm taking 1,000 milligrams. But I also was advised to take the PQQ along with. Are you familiar with these two substances?
Co-calcium?
The CoQ10.
Yeah, CoQ10.
And the PQQ.
PQQ. I'm familiar with CoQ10. PQQ, I've heard of. I'd have to do more research on that.
Well, it says
pyrrolacquinone.
Yeah, right. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to do more research on that to answer your question.
Yeah, it says promote mitochondria biogenesis, but I was told to take the two together.
Okay, by doctor?
No, by herbalist.
Okay.
I mean, that's the doctor, but so I'll wait to hear from you on another week on that, okay?
Yeah, I appreciate you on your patience because I don't want to give false information. I don't like, if I don't know, I'm going to tell you I don't know. But what I will do is find out the information and come back to you on that. So next show, you can definitely be prepared for my answer.
All right, then.
If you guys want to follow me on the socials, I'll also answer any questions on Instagram, the DILLON SWAINE, on my website. I actually deleted it last Sunday. I was messing with it. So sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I got to upload everything back on it. So I'm building it back up.
D or V? T-H-E, the Dillon?
Yeah, THEDILLON
There we have it.
Okay, A-I-N-E. Okay.
That's on all socials, so you don't have to worry about it.
Great. I'll look you up. I also listen to Patrick Delves. He's from Jamaica too, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. You're not familiar with him?
No, I'm not.
Oh, whoa. Okay. He's
whoa, Mr. Ryan.
He's along the lines of a Dr. Sebi, like something like that. You never heard of Dr. Sebi?
Oh, no. We've definitely. I know I have. We know Dr. Sebi. We know Dr. Sebi. We definitely. Mr. Wright, I can't
have a good night.
enough.
Okay.
as well. A
All
family.
right.
If you have just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Listen, you too are invited to join the conversation, and you can do so by commenting on our socials, or you can call us, and you can do that by dialing 215 634 8065, or you can call us toll free at 1 866 361 0900. I'm looking at the time. We only have just a few minutes left to our show. I should have looked at the time before I asked that, but you know what? but what we're going to do right now, we're going to take just a short commercial break, but stay with us, family, because we'll be right back.
I'm Philadelphia Sheriff Rochelle Bilal. The Philadelphia Sheriff Office wants you to be our next deputy sheriff. We provide the training, and you will receive a starting salary with full benefits at $51,000 for an entry-level position, or you can make up to $66,000 with experience. If you're 18 years or older, please apply online at phillysheriff.com until July the 30th.
What is dedication?
My daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. If there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Need a minute? Take a breath and breathe in positivity. Here are words of joy and empowerment from WURD Radio.
To Black Women by Gwendolyn Brooks. Sisters, where there is cold silence, no hallelujahs, no hurrahs at all, no handshakes, no neon red or blue, no smiling faces, prevail. Prevail across the editors of the world who are obsessed, self-honeying, and self-crowned in the seduced arena. It has been a hard trudge with fainting, bandaging, and death. There have been startling confrontations. There have been tramplings of monarchs and of other men. But there remain large countries in your eyes, shrewd sun, a civil balance, the listening secrets, and you create and train your flowers still. I'm Delilah Wilson Scott.
This joy and empowerment vignette was brought to you by Comcast.
Hello?
Man, where are you? I thought you were coming.
I can't. I'm in bed with the flu.
The flu? Whoa. Grandma's about to crowd surf. Man, I'll call you back.
Don't get stuck at home with the flu. A flu shot is safe, effective, and you can get it at the same time as your COVID-19 vaccine. A flu shot is the best way to prevent the flu and its potentially serious complications. Don't get flu FOMO. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
The WURD Radio newsletter, keeping you informed, engaged, and connected. Sign up by visiting wordradio.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page and type your email address under Connect with Us. You'll receive the latest information on WURD Radio, messages from our president and CEO, Sarah Lomax Reese, exclusive articles and multimedia content, and resources. Stay informed with the WURD Radio newsletter.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. So I tell you, this tune-up tonight, this Tuesday tune-up was something else, wasn't it? Wasn't it? I enjoyed the conversation. Dillon had to run. He apologizes that he had to run so quickly, but he noticed the time himself and he had a client that he had to get to. So he sends his love and he shares that he will see us next week as promised for our next Tuesday tune up. And he did share that any questions that we have for him, he will address them at that time. I want to go back to our socials and recognize some of our family members who commented. Miss Joanne. Hi, Miss Joanne. Miss Joanne shared that we should all watch the sugar, salt, and refined oils. And you are so right about that. But she has had some experience with coral calcium liquid, and she writes that it's good, but try drinking plenty of water until the cramps go away. She said that she writes that she helped her mother through this. So I'm always interested in reading the comments that you all share about your experiences as well. I mean, we all know that all things are not for everybody, but things that we share here, could potentially be helpful. Well, to some of us, some of the things that we share are helpful to others. So it's always good. Like I said, communication is key. I feel that sharing information is the best thing that we can do with one another. I'm so grateful for Miss Soraya's phone call because, yes, I do read Dr. Sebi's work, but I was so unfamiliar with Dr. Delves. I believe it was the name that she shared. Delvis or Delves? I'm not sure. But was unfamiliar, but you best believe I'm going to do some research. So Ms. Diane, she shares that CoQ10 is something that she would take if you take a statin for elevated cholesterol levels. I'm really enjoying the conversation that we're having because I'm enjoying your contribution, family. I really, really, really am. Ms. Diane also shares that people miss the facts that milk contains more electrolytes than most of the drinks on the market and water. That's a good point. That's a really good point. I am going to take a moment just to go to our phone lines in the 2 minutes that we possibly have left. Family, are you still there on our phone line?
Yes. Hi, Carol. It's Lola.
Miss Lola.
Hi, Carol. I just got off, but I wanted to say this before the week got away from me because I know it's the end of the show.
Okay.
I was commenting on the train about the vitamins. But I wanted to just talk about yesterday because I wasn't able to call in because I was working and it got late. But I just wanted to say, I was listening to her when she was saying that some of her, if nobody knows what I'm talking about, you had a guest on yesterday who talked about she was into interracial marriage and they traveled around the world. Now,
yes.
when she was talking about that, was she saying that the white people in her circle didn't know that racism was still existing? Was this pre-George Floyd, or because I was really kind of taken aback by the conversation. I thought it was a very good conversation, but I just thought, how many times do black people have to prove and yell out that racism exists, and then just to see it from the eyes of her husband? So if she wasn't married to a black man, would she still not believe that there was so much racism out in the world? Because when I travel the world, Carol, I do see how people they mock the interracial couples, they point at them, and when I went to this little town in Spain, went to Spain one year, and it's this little town called Caraca, and they were asking to take pictures with me, and one of the ladies said, "Are you on the Real Housewives?" I said, "No, I'm not on the Real Housewives." She said, "You look, y'all look just like y'all." I said, "No, every black woman who might look nice or and dresses is not on the Real Housewives of Atlanta or
any of them,
or whatever, any of them."
Yeah, any of them. But I want to address that, Miss Lola, if I might, for just a moment, because I know we have to end shortly. But I did say that to her. I did address that statement. So I said, as you're saying this, and I'm processing what you're saying, that your white friends are saying, well, we had no idea that racism was to that degree, and they're shocked and surprised. I said, but you know what? As I thought about it, I was thinking, you don't see what we see. You don't have the same experiences that we have. Like, we experience it on the regular, on a daily basis, and we are looking through a different lens. They're blind to it. So what they see might be a story here, a story there. So to them, no, they don't see it. It doesn't really exist to them until someone says, yeah, this is real. This is a real thing, or until it's close. And that was what she was basically saying. Like, she had no idea herself that it was to the degree that it is, which is why she's writing the book, because she noticed how people treated her husband. and you know, and her kids saying they wanted to touch them and all, which is, and listen, I realize the world in which we live, but y'all, when she did say that, talking about recognizing the white privilege that she has, and saying that, did you hear what she said about, you know, about China, being in China specifically? She said when they were in China,
I've been to Japan. I've been to Japan, and they are kind of like that. But then, and I know you have to go, but I just want to say this: she needs to be an ally and like a speaker. And then those are the, I mean, even though I don't like how the situationship of it, how she came about knowing about her white entitlement and how much racism still exists, that these are the type of white allies and people that need to actually speak out and tell people this, not, you know, on word, but all over. Make it global to let people know that white people do understand that this country is still baked in racism. All right,
well, she said that. That's what you know what, to your point, Miss Lola, and you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But to your point, but that's what she said. She said because of, you know, what she felt, how her husband was treated, she wants to tell everybody, and that's one of the reasons that she's writing the book. You know, Timothy writes, I'm sorry, but she knew. I don't know to what degree, Tim. Again, she recognizes her white privilege, and she herself said, you know, I see it, I know it, but she's used to being treated a certain way. She, prior to marrying this man, I don't know how many black men, you know, she had an experience with, but she married this man. Prior to him, I don't know. She may not have married or.
Before we hang up, we need a part 2 with her husband.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? I'm working on that, Miss Lola. Get out of my head. Get out of my head, Miss Lola. Get out of my head. Get out of there. Get out of there. Family, listen, y'all know me. I'm going to talk and talk. Miss Lola, have a great night. Family, this is what I'm going to say to you right now. It is that time. You know it's that time. You know it is that time. To God be the glory. I just want to say you as you continue to support Love and Life. Thank you to just all of our callers, to those who contributed to the conversation via our socials. Just thank you so much. Special thanks to our guest, Dillon Swaine, for sharing his time, energy, space, knowledge, and attention with us. Additional thanks to the entire WURD family, especially Miss Kayla J. and to Niall Jax for every single thing that you do. Family, you know I'm going to say it. You know it's coming. We are all in this together. So I'm going to ask you to be good to you, but be good to those around you. Please, 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 please. Have a great night, and be sure to join me Monday through Thursday, 7 till 9 p.m. Eastern Time for another edition of Love and Life right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Have a good night, everybody.
Pollution from trucks is a public health crisis. Diesel-burning trucks belch dangerous levels of pollution, and communities living near